welcome to another episode of the Protagonist Sheet.
Listen, it's a really special episode this week.
We got two guest stars.
Oh, we have guest stars. Tell me all about those guest stars.
We've got two Sean Connerys, both from different movies, visiting.
Which Sean Connery are you?
I'm Sean Connery from The Island.
I'm Sean Connery from Hunt for Red October. You know that movie that Big Jim's always telling us to watch? Hunt for Red October. It's a submarine film.
It's a pretty good flick, if I do say so myself, as Sean Connery.
Anyway, this is the Protagonist Seat. I'm Sean Connery.
And I'm also Sean Connery.
Now, but we're Alex, we're Ian. We talk about anime, and that is all we do.
Yeah, that's pretty much exclusively what we do in this form of media.
Yeah, it's anime all the time, forever.
Anime, all the time, 100 times. You want anime? You come here. We got it.
Can you spell it?
Can you put it in a book? Can you wear it as a hat?
Can you attack it with a bat?
Yes, I am, Sam, I am.
So Fire Force.
It's a pretty good show.
Yeah, and you know what? Benny Maru's a cool guy.
Benny Maru is a cool guy, especially when he kicks the shit out of Infernals.
Yeah, so this episode, he talks to the former captain of the 7th, and he's like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, just do you, man.
You do you, man.
And his way of doing him is to basically he makes the tower fly.
Yeah, his power, I guess, is
to
he
make
can
the brooms shoot fire out of him.
He can propulse things.
And he ends up flying over the city. He's like, hey, can you all hear me? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's super
what
into
do we
it.
do? And he's like,
I bet these people were plants.
there are shapeshifters who, yeah, they're plants.
They're all Benny Maru 7th plants.
Yeah. They're all like, he's like, there's shapeshifters among us, and we don't know how to tell them apart. But our people won't be beat by a bunch of phonies, so you know what?
Kick the shit out of each other.
Everybody fight, and the way they do that in this town, apparently everything's like festival time.
And a man in the back today, everyone attack and turn to a ballroom. Let's.
The two members of the 8th, Captain Obi and the lieutenant, are both talking to each other. And the lieutenant says to the captain, the captain says to the lieutenant, should we fight? And he's like, please, sir. Don't be ridiculous. And then you look over and Catgirl.
Maki and Catgirl.
Yeah, Maki and... I'm trying to remember what her... Oh, Tamaki.
Tamaki.
Maki and Tamaki are fighting.
Yep, and they basically knock each other out with a single punch.
Even though they both know that they're not. They're not shapeshifters.
And I would say Maki is definitely... she's got the upper hand in CQC.
Yeah, but apparently they're evenly matched.
I guess so. You know what? All you need is that one lucky punch.
And Shinra and Arthur fight the guy who turns himself into a demon.
And he's very tough. He's got a very
thick...
He has thick with 3 C's for armor.
And Shinra is too scared to do anything at first, so Arthur has to kind of fight by himself.
Because Shinra gets a weird-ass vision about his feet being all, like, skeletons.
Yeah.
And his
and
fire.
then he goes through that moment where he's like, the skeleton is inside of me.
The whole time.
That would be so scary if you had a skeleton inside of you. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, must be terrifying.
I have no skeleton. That's just a fact. I go to do the x-rays and they're like, wow, hollow.
I'm only skeleton.
I'm like Teddy from Persona 4.
I am exclusively skeleton. I'm a skeleton wearing a tight suit.
Yeah, you're a skeleton wearing a meat suit.
I'm a skeleton wearing one of those morph suits just to blend in.
Mighty Morphin Skeleton Rangers.
Yeah, I just put googly eyes on it.
But yes, they can't beat this thing. So
yeah, he's too tough.
Benny goes and fights it.
And Benny starts kicking the shit out of it. But you know what? He can't go all out.
Because he'll destroy the town.
And he doesn't want that, even though that's what he does all the time anyway.
Yeah, so he flies it up into the sky, like he impales it on his
broom.
And then using the broom, he shoots kind of both of them up into the sky.
I am Superman.
And Archer Lady takes that as a perfect opportunity just to shoot him.
Because it is.
Yeah. and the captain realizes he can't reach him in time, or he can't do anything to stop it, and then he has a flashback to Shinra saying, "You can rely on us."
And
so
he does.
he clenches his fist and shouts, "Shinra, save him!"
I thought this was pretty cool. And then Shinra does.
And he blasts off into the air, and he goes to try to stop the arrow, and she's all, "Ha ha ha, you can't stop my arrow with your power." And then he does anyway.
And she's like, "Oh, shit, we should retreat." So she takes the other guy and they fuck off.
Yep. And then the 7th and the 8th become friends.
Yeah, and Benimaru defeats the Inferno with the power of dubstep fire.
Yeah, essentially. Whom.
Yeah, because that's the noise fire makes. It goes, whoa. Because at first...
Are you glad that genre faded away?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Skrillex!
Skrillex! Dude, Bangarang!
Dude.
Part of me kind of liked Bangarang for a little while, but then I was like, nah, there's better stuff. There's better stuff out there.
There always is.
Yeah. But then they go back and everyone's all buddy-buddy. And then Benimaru offers to share sake with Captain Obi.
And Captain Obi notices the sake and he's like, whoa,
whoa.
We don't have a lot of sake anymore. We don't have Japanese sake in this country because it's not
in
really
this
Japan
country
anymore.
Of future Japan.
Yeah, future Japan sucks.
We need to go back to those traditional days. Bring back the Shingoku period. That's what everyone wants, right?
Yeah, no, they want the Tokugawa era.
I'm pretty sure everyone's like, hey, you hear it all the time on the news. All the time. People are just like, we need our modern American Shingoku period.
Well, we kind of had that at one point. It was called the Civil War.
Yeah, and you know what? We need that again.
Yeah, we need to teach those southern bastards a lesson again.
We need to teach those western sons of bitches.
We need to teach those Yankee sons of bitches. We need to teach them about the pride we have for our forefathers.
Yeah, we fly the Confederate battle flag. Ain't even the real flag of the Confederate States.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people you think actually know that? Because, like, the two flags for the Confederate States and the United States were so similar that they had to make another flag just so they could know who to shoot.
Bruh. I was in my class the other day, and this girl asked, like, when you say, how many people do you expect not to know that? This one girl, we were looking at, like, it was like an art history class, so one of, like, the art things was up on the screen, and she was like...
Oh, God.
It was like a picture, it was like a sculpture of Mary holding Jesus, and she's like...
Oh, no.
She's like, I might be wrong on this, but don't a lot of people think that Jesus was Jewish? You know, a couple of people do.
Yeah, a couple people do think that Jesus was Jewish. Most of those are people who know that he was.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so also, I remember what a previous job I used to work at, I just wanted to see what some of these, like, younger guys knew. So I would ask them questions. Maybe, hey, who is the current vice president of the United States?
Oh no.
Not a lot of them got it.
Oh, that is disparaging.
And this was late Obama administration, where he's been the vice president for like 8 years now.
Jesus.
It's like, you didn't know it was Biden?
Biden, the comfy old man who's just, hey, I'm Biden, I don't really do anything.
Yeah, they didn't know that at the time. They didn't know what's the capital of France? Don't tell me. I got this. London. Rome. New York.
New York. The city that never sleeps for the country that never sleeps.
Yeah, it's
because they're all getting wasted off of wine.
People don't know a lot of stuff, and they'll surprise you.
Yeah, I wish it didn't, though. You know who knows a lot of shit, though? Senku.
In Dr. Stone.
Or in this case, Byakuya.
Byakuya, he doesn't know as much, but he knows
a lot of stuff.
Enough.
They sent that man into space. He's got to know some stuff.
Yeah. You can't just throw a man in space and not have him know anything.
You can't just Superman throw a man into the atmosphere and expect him not to know anything.
He so it takes place right after the green wave goes over the planet, and they realized it started in South America. So
using social media to reverse engineer the focal point.
So it was probably some weird Aztec thing, or the Nazis.
What if it was 2012? What if at the end of the series that's what it was?
It doesn't happen in 2012 though.
Yeah, but
the series doesn't take place then.
The Mayan calendar thing. What if that's what it was?
But we're past that point. That's why I'm saying it's probably the Nazis.
But what if it was though? What if it was they got the calendar date wrong? Even though that's just when the Mayans stopped making calendars, because
that was pretty far in advance.
Yeah, and you know what? They didn't even make it that long. If they had made it that long, they probably would have, made more calendars.
Yeah, they would have been like, "Hey, we gotta update soon."
Could you imagine if people made calendars for the next couple years, and then someone was like, "Holy shit, guys! Hallmark says the world is gonna end in 2020." I know, because their calendar doesn't continue any further than that.
That would be so fucking stupid.
All right, new Apocalypse series.
Everyone thinks the world's going to end because of a Hallmark calendar.
Because Hallmark doesn't make calendars past the next year. We're getting there.
That would be crazy.
We're getting there.
But, yeah.
Shit has gone bad, and they need a plan of action.
So, at first, they're thinking of landing near the site where it happened, and Byakuya's like, I gotta be the one to go. And then Shamil punches him and says,
You got a family.
Yeah, you got a family. You should send me. I have no family.
This is dangerous. And then 2 women go with him as well, because they're like, we'll go also to go down to Earth.
Also, one of the people that go too is the pop star.
Yeah, because fuck it, why not?
Yeah, so they go and they land in the ocean, but they're stuck.
They land upside down, basically.
Way off target.
Yeah. So they need to figure out what the hell to do. And Byakuya is basically like, well, we're landing on an island. We're getting a boat. If we don't have a boat, we're making a boat, and we're going.
And he actually does. It takes him 10 hours to get to them.
But you know what? He makes it.
Even Shamil's like, hey, you're not young anymore, old man. Take it easy.
Can't go doing that. Can't go doing that anymore. You got to chill out. But then they go back to the island. They're like, hey, since this is one of the furthest points from the epicenter, maybe someone's still alive. Nope. They find a statue.
The one thing about the way Byakuya goes around and lives, it almost makes me wonder why didn't they just go to
a city?
Yeah, a city, a place with stuff.
You know what?
Because they even mentioned there's the main island we can go to for supplies, and I'm like, why don't you just live on the main island?
Yeah.
There's a reason people were living on that one and not this one.
Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense, and it would have been a lot easier to land there too. Hey, we'll just land in Japan. Just anywhere. There's plenty of places to land that aren't terrible.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard you have to overshoot to miss the country of Japan? It's pretty hard.
I don't know. It's an island. I can understand not missing China or the United States.
China.
Although I don't know, depending on where it was going to land on land too, that might be shitty. So if you land up high somewhere,
yeah, land in the mountains.
Actually, I think landing on Japan would probably be a pain in the ass, considering that is a mostly mountain-esque country, and you have no one guiding you down there.
Pick Chinese flatland, and then you can basically go anywhere from there. Because think about it, the world is your oyster.
It really is. But Byakuya, he ends up, when they go down there, everything just kind of starts getting worse while they're trying to survive there. I think Connie is her name. She dies first.
Connie and Shamil get married, then Connie gets sick and dies of pneumonia.
The same thing that apparently all their children are susceptible to.
They are predisposed to getting pneumonia.
But yeah, so Shamil
dies as well.
Yep, he gets pneumonia. The 2 other researchers that were already married ended up trying to go find medicine, and they end up dying.
They disappear in the ocean, which is fine, because that woman's lips bother me.
Her kid has the lips, too.
Yeah, I know. It still bothers me. I don't like it.
And some of the people you can see share the design in the village, because there's some girls there with those lips.
Yeah, and I don't like it. It bothers me.
So thankfully everyone reproduced before they died.
Yeah.
And I think it's implied that Byakuya and
the singer
probably get together.
Yeah.
Which they reveal after, because that would mean Kohaku and Rui are Byakuya's descendants. And then Kohaku's like, wait, does that mean we're related to Senku? And he's like, me and Byakuya aren't even blood related, even though we look exactly alike.
Even though our hair is basically the same.
I'm pretty sure they did that as like a, all right, well, no one can say anything weird about him getting with Kohaku, even though it wouldn't really, he even says, it doesn't matter. We're so many generations removed, even if we were related, it wouldn't mean anything.
Exactly. So basically, Byakuya, he comes up with the 100 Tales because Byakuya used to be a teacher. So he's like, we need an entertaining method to pass down knowledge to our descendants.
Yeah, so he tries writing it in English at first, but he has trouble with English. So the singer lady just tells him, hey, just do it in Japanese.
Yeah, I'll just learn it in your mother tongue. Which makes sense because if he's doing it for eventually Senku...
If he was doing it for Senku, though, I'm imagining Senku probably speaks English.
Probably. Senku probably speaks like 30 languages.
Senku is probably, at the very least, like quadrilingual.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, why would he be writing it in English if Senku didn't know English?
That is a good point.
Yeah.
One would assume that it's like you could make the assumption that it's so that the singer can learn it.
Well, because it would still be passed down in English, though.
Yeah.
Also, think about this. Byakuya and her, that means the entire crew has been speaking English the whole time then.
Yep.
It's just in Japanese so everyone understands it.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Also, interesting enough, there was only 6 of them, and if you Google how many people are up in space right now, there's only 6 people.
So if this actually happened, we better hope there's a Byakuya up there.
There's like, there's like 3 Americans, like 2 Russians, and an Italian.
Let's hope that Italian really pulls it through. We gotta bank it on the Italian.
At least, like, the recipes will survive. Like, Mama's a homeland of recipes.
Well, our descendants will have pasta.
I'm sorry, Italian astronaut currently on the ISS, that I have stereotyped your entire culture down to
pasta.
Pasta.
A side dish for you guys.
It's like, oh, that guy made it to space. Well, what's he think about his mama's a pizza?
How's he gonna survive in space? He can't get pasta and meatballs up there. He can't get his mom's delicate meat sauce.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
What's he gonna do? He's gonna starve.
But she ends up passing down the tales to her descendants, and we kind of get a scene of like the last part where she brings Senku to the cemetery, and she tells him the last part of the message, which is a direct message from Byakuya to Senku.
Literally.
Yeah. Or it's just basically like him being like, hey, Senku, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Well, I mean...
I'm not, because I'm dead. But...
I'm dead, but, everything's been okay so far.
I've been having a good time so far, and it's like...
And like basically stuff about how, I know you're going to save humanity and stuff, so I made sure you had... Because his whole plan with the village was he wanted Senku to have allies.
Yeah. And
it kind of goes down the line of, like, generations as you see it finally gets down to Chrome, Kohaku, Suika.
Because his stories about stones actually inspired Chrome to go start collecting colorful rocks.
Yeah.
Which sent him on the way to becoming a sorcerer.
Yep, and I'm sure it wasn't part of his plan, but it worked out. He's like, hey, we gotta work to have our genetics breed a super gorilla woman for my son.
Yeah, because I know he likes that kind of thing. We get a touching moment at the grave.
Yeah. He asks Rui if she can leave him alone for a little bit, where he can just kind of shed his manly tears.
These are man tears. They're A1 steak sauce and Johnny Walker.
And you know what I think is under that giant thing of gravestones? That part of their astronaut ship that was just kind of...
remember it was just... The pods.
The pod. The pod that was just sitting there the whole time. Because where did that go?
Yeah, that would be cool as shit.
and he ends up going back to the party where everyone's all celebrating, and he asks...
Gen is talking about, I'm here to deliver a message.
Yeah, he asks again, he's like, so when's Tsukasa coming? And he's like, right now.
Yep. Basically, war is afoot.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum,
so Tsukasa is planning to invade the village.
Yep. So shit's gonna go down. But Senku's ready for it. He's like, we're gonna show him what science can do. So I'm assuming Senku is going to 3D print an arsenal of guns, and then he's just going to gun them down.
And at the very least, he has way more people now. For at least Magma's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I don't think he's Tsukasa strong, but he's at least Jobber strong.
Yeah, he can take out some dudes.
Yeah. Also, you know what I was thinking the other day? Gen has been a better spy than Taiju. Because he sent Taiju to spy, and Taiju is essentially just... kind of lived in Tsukasa's camp.
He hasn't reported back once. But Gen's a good spy.
Yeah.
Taiju doesn't really seem like the espionage and intrigue type. He seems more like a sleeper agent.
Not even like his girlfriend though.
No.
I feel like Gen is just super weak, so they let him fuck off and do whatever he wants because it's like he's not gonna do heavy lifting.
Yeah. Because he's Gen. But yeah, so war is afoot.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes. And goodbye to Space Dad, but glad you're getting a spin-off series.
Yeah. Thanks, Space Dad.
20 minutes in, we're on show 3 finally.
Fate.
Grand Order.
A lot of tangents today.
Yeah. But that's what you're here for.
Exactly. The banter.
The banter.
All right.
The bantha.
The bantha poodoo. So Fate. They walk around. They lay some brick.
I realized the problems with this episode, because I'm like, I forgot about Fujine.
Yeah.
I forgot about Taiga. I forgot this is literally a joke character that we have in this very serious scene.
I also forgot, and
she's a gag character. She exists so we have Shiro's teacher from Fate's Stay Night as a servant yet.
And basically it is a woman in a tiger onesie.
Yeah, it is Taiga in a tiger onesie.
But she's Jaguar Man, or the Jaguar Warrior of Aztec legend.
And she is as extra as she usually is in everything else.
Yeah. But they go to investigate the city of Ur because Gil tells them to. Yeah,
and they find the city and they realize, people are being sacrificed to some goddess here.
Yeah.
But by doing that, she's keeping them safe from the demonic beasts.
Yep. And then they're like, that's no way to live. And then people in the town are like, you guys don't understand. You guys don't get it. And then Taiga comes and kicks the shit out of them, and then they run away.
Yeah, which is, again, all the fights are nice to watch.
Yeah.
Well done fight scene.
I liked the
We watch Anna get the shit kicked out of her more, because that's all that happens to Anna in this.
Anna gets the shit kicked out of her.
Every scene, every fight she's in, it
mash shields.
Yeah.
And
also, when they're leaving the town, we see Ushi Wakamaru walk up to them. I always thought Ushi was small. But she's the same size as
she is a regular sized person.
Yeah, but again, just because her sprite, I don't know, she's always lower than everyone else.
It's because she's crouching most of the time, I think.
Yeah, but she's average height.
She also has tall ass shoes.
She does, but even then, she's not that. She's Mosh height, or maybe slightly less.
Yeah.
She's not small though.
She's not small.
And and we meet King Hassan, but not directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shows up in disguise to give some vague bullshit.
And we just get to hear those beautifully dripping, Joji Nakata voice.
Yeah, it is very nice. But it's...
Yarokobe Shonen.
Shonen. Because they give him a pancake, so in return he gives them a prophecy.
Because that's what King Hassan does.
Yeah, and then he fucks off. And then they fuck off.
I gotta level up my King Hassan.
I don't have one, so I can't.
He's cool.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
He's an assassin, but he's a death knight.
He is an assassin with a glowing flame skull head and a great sword.
Yeah, imagine getting assassinated by a greatsword.
Imagine all of a sudden standing in your room, there's like a 6-foot-tall skull knight with a greatsword, and he just kills you because he's an assassin, and he escapes totally undetected.
You know what? That's probably just why you could be an assassin with that is no one lives to hear about it, technically.
Yeah. That's like the half-orc rogue who, instead of actually stealthing, just intimidates people into believing that they don't see him. So he just scares people into inaction instead of actually stealthing.
Hey, you didn't see shit.
You did not see Grabnar. Oh fuck. Okay, I didn't see Grabnar. I didn't. But yeah, that's pretty much this episode in a nutshell.
Yeah.
The fights are still pretty nice. You know, they're going around. They're still learning.
The good news is I think this is only going to be 13 episodes because this shouldn't be any longer than that.
Yeah, they're moving pretty quick.
Yeah,
so
this was like, I felt like the halfway point when I was playing it. But then the real halfway point is when the miasma stuff shows up.
Miasma.
When the water turns black.
When the water turns wet.
When the water turns black.
When the blood comes home.
I'm not the one who's
so far away when I feel the snake bite into my veins. Never did I wanna be here again, and I don't remember why I came. We do not own the rights to any Godsmack songs, period, so fuck off.
What if I challenge them for it?
Yeah, what if we challenge them to unarmed one-on-one combat?
Sequentially, we fight them each. We have to beat them
it's
all.
the two of us versus the entire band Godsmack.
How many members do they got?
I think they got 4.
We each take 2. We just have to win 2 fights each.
I think we can do that.
Yeah.
That's another show that happens this week, but we'll get there. Hey, I'm going back to high school, but it's demon high school.
Oh no, the absolute demons of the absolute demonic front are now going to absolute high school.
Absolute demonic front. Iruma-kun. It's a race. They get their misfit class.
We find out who is going to be his fellow classmates.
One is it's a cross between a samurai and Cousin It from the Addams Family.
To be honest, they all look like rejected B characters from other manga. Like, that's like,
yeah.
I'm like, these are the guys that couldn't make it into My Hero.
Yeah, yeah. And now they're in the misfit class. I do like how the samurai dude's name is Goemon.
Yeah.
It amuses me.
And Iruma-kun gets put in that class, and I thought Asmodeus would be upset about being in the misfit class, but as long as he's with Iruma-kun. My favorite scene is when they get to class, and one of the dudes there, it turns out he's this big badass that beat up a teacher on the first day, because he wants to be the #1 demon. And
he can't stand for anyone who's stronger than him, so he needs to fight them.
And he says Asmodeus would have made a worthy rival, but since he's now Iruma's slave, that he's not really worth considering. And Asmodeus is like, no, I'm much more than a slave. I'm his friend.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? What's a friend? He's like, friends are people that hang out and do stuff together and die for each other. And essentially, it's more powerful than a blood contract. And everyone's blown away by this. And there's a huge bright light, and he's holding up his hands, and he's going, friends?
It's very good. It is super blown out and dramatic, and it's great.
And every demon thinks this whole friend thing is this insane contract.
I'm assuming over the course of the show, everyone is going to try to become Iruma's friend.
Yeah.
And that's how he becomes Mao.
And their teacher, unsurprisingly, is his familiar.
Because he was framed for stealing from the school
he missed
store.
the meeting where they assigned classes.
So now he's the misfit teacher.
And he's going to decide their rank by having them participate in a race.
Yep. And we actually get a scene where Asmodeus is like, hey, Iruma, why don't you walk? Why don't you just fly to school every day?
And he's like, oh, he's about to figure me out. And he's like,
I
wait a
know.
second. You just want to strengthen your legs.
You're trying to strengthen your legs. That's genius. I love that idea.
And the race is a flying race, and everyone immediately takes off.
except our boy.
He gets pushed off the edge, and he's like, "Come on, what are you waiting for?" by his teacher.
Yeah.
And then he's out of the episode for a little bit.
Yeah, he's fallen for a while.
And the teacher teleports immediately to the finish line. And he just watches where everyone is and what they're doing. And most of the other classes like bumming around.
Yeah.
And turns out, what's her name?
Clara?
Yeah. Turns out Clara went on Asmodeus's back and just stuck with him the whole time.
Yeah, instead of flying, because fuck it, why not? There are 2 routes to go. There's easy peasy route, and then there's difficult lemon difficult route.
Yeah, difficult shortcut.
Yeah.
It's the faster way, but he told them that he doesn't want anyone doing that one because the guardian of that area is kind of pissed off right now and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, so naturally, the big man decides he's going to go through the difficult
strongest, I'm going to
route.
go that way. And then the teacher looks at it and he just goes through his paperwork and crosses his name off.
Yeah.
Well, there's always one idiot like you every year.
At least that's one less person I have to worry about dealing with.
Maybe we'll be able to at least salvage an arm or a leg.
So he goes and does that. Asmodeus fights traps with Clara, and it's kind of fun because I like watching their dynamic.
And they're good side characters.
They are.
I like when he is thinking about where Iruma must be, and he's thinking, oh, maybe he got left behind. Nah, knowing him, he's probably already at the finish line.
He's already beaten us there. We'll have to go meet him.
And Iruma actually gets picked up by some crows.
Yeah, some demon crows.
Yeah, and he's assuming he's going to be eaten until he gets dropped on some bird nest, and there's an injured giant bird there.
Yeah, so he is like, hey, I gotta fix you, so please don't eat me.
Yeah, it turns out the bird is hurt, and he kind of wounds himself to show what he's going to do, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Because then he takes a bandage and wraps it, points at it, and then he's like, I want to do that to you.
You see this? I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do this to you.
And when he's going to do that, a little bit of his blood drops into the wound, and it heals it.
Yeah, so holy shit. I guess...
Human blood is healing for demons.
That'll probably never come up again.
Yeah.
That's not foreshadowing any kind of anything.
Oh, and big tough dude goes and fights the Guardian and gets his shit wrecked, and he's like, I'm going to die?
Oh, no. And Iruma basically befriends I'm going to call her the female Path Guardian.
Yeah, or the child. Could be one of
whichever one.
But he's probably going to get taken to where the tough guy is, save him, and then he's going to get there first before everyone. Everyone's going to be like, wow, he tamed a monster. He's so amazing.
Yeah, as soon as the teacher started talking about the Path Guardian, I was like, I wonder how Iruma is going to befriend this creature.
Yeah.
I also really love the running gag of, like, they make the teacher use the cutesy explanation TV screens, but he fucking hates it.
Yeah, and he smashes it all the time.
He so visibly hates it. It's great. Hey, Orisuke, are you really the only one who loves me?
No, I hate you. Babaka.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I called it. He's gonna be back in the group. It's all good now.
He reconciles with everybody one by one. Just a sigh.
Yeah.
A sigh.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. The time I almost committed rape. It's okay. At least you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't though.
So Joro is kind of down because he lost all his friends, but he can still go see Pansy. But Pansy's like, hey, should you kind of like
you should make up with your
whole
friends.
Situation?
Avoiding that isn't going to solve anything. Surprise fucking surprise.
And he goes and he mends his relationship with everybody.
Yeah, he also eats a cupcake because she's like, hey, I baked this shit for you. And he's like, nah, I don't have any reason to come here. And then basically she describes a situation secondhand. She's lonely and she's kind of sad. And I almost did it too.
Yeah.
Joro sees this and he picks up one of the treats and he eats it and he's like, I guess
Giovanna Joro.
Yeah, Giovanna Joro picks up one of the treats and eats it and is basically like, I guess I got 2 reasons to come here now.
So he makes up with a Genki girl first.
It turns out she's an idiot. So he did. Oh, we were also introduced to a new girl.
Yeah, newspaper girl, school paper,
who has all the beats on everybody.
And she has an accent secretly that he draws out of her
For fun, because
Yeah.
whoa!
but obviously we don't have the ear enough to pick it up because we
Yeah.
don't speak that tongue.
That's not my mother tongue. But basically, he banters with her, and then Genki Girl is stupid, because they always are. So he decides he's going to help her study. Yay!
Yeah, and so he's like, wait, there's also someone else I gotta make up with. And he issues a challenge to
Yeah.
the baseball guy, and they go onto the roof.
I issue you a study challenge.
He's like, I can't accept your challenge. And he's about to walk away,
Because
and
it's
he's like,
stupid.
and he remembers what Pansy told him about just say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say.
And he's like, I just want to be friends with you again.
Yeah. And you know what? It works.
He's like, I know you're a complete shitbag, but you know I'm a shitbag, but you're a lot worse of a shitbag, okay? But let's be friends anyway.
You're worse, but I still want to be your buddy. Because you know what? We're both shitty people.
And he makes up with everybody, but forgets Cosmos, and she's in the background the whole time.
Yeah, she follows him around, expecting him to, like, try and make up with her.
And then he realizes last second, he's like, oh shit. And then
I missed one.
And he's like, hey, Cosmos. And she's all sulking. You forgot about me. No. I was just saving the best for last.
Those thighs are the best. She got them thighs, dude. They thick.
I still like Pansy best, though.
I mean, yeah, she is canon girl now.
I think she's canon anyway.
She's just girl. She's just girl now.
Yeah, and he gets all of them together in the library, and Sunshan apologizes, which is weird still.
It is.
That they're friends now.
It's super weird that that's just fine.
Hey, I threatened sexual violence against you, but can we be friends now? Yeah, sure.
You didn't, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And they all study.
And it's fine.
And then on their way home, Joro has a realization.
At first, it seems like a really nice ending to an anime where it's like, all right, everyone's friends now, everything's good. Look at us all going home together, a bunch of pals. This is my chance. I'm still in the game.
I'm still in it, guys. I can still get them.
Yeah. I got 3 to choose from now. Not 2, 3.
Dun, 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 dun. And then we get a shot of a darkened room where the school newspaper girl.
Yeah, she is printing an article called "Local Sleazebag courts 3 different women."
Yeah, so she's in on it. She sees it because I guess everyone's just gonna see through Joro now.
Yeah, in fact, he doesn't even look like he puts up the act much anymore to the point where it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
because he was talking pretty normally with the newspaper girl. He wasn't being like, "Hey, I'm just regular Joro." Ha ha ha.
Yeah. I want to see where it goes. I want to see the monkey wrenches. Give me the monkey wrenches.
Give me the monkey.
Hey, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life?
Did I not say to make those abilities average in my next life?
But real average, not like that false bullshit halfway between the strongest and the weakest creature average.
So, Mild turns her friends into otaku.
Yep,
they stay up one night telling stories, and she essentially just talks about some shows that she likes.
Yeah, and they're super into it. They want to do
Sentai poses.
Yeah, they want to get the poses down.
And people are inviting Mild to join their parties, but she's like, I already promised my roommates. It's just an excuse. But then Rena's like, why don't we just actually form a party?
But you were the one who said I should fake it. And she was like, yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, none of you are doing anything else after.
Yeah. Okay, what are your big plans, Mile?
I like before they end up telling the story, ends up telling the story, they're all laying there, and Rena's talking, and she says, does anyone have, any romance to talk about?
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's like, nah. What about you, Pauline? Nah. Mile? Not really. And Mavis is like, yeah.
I guess we don't really have any romance among us.
And Mavis is like, why did no one ask me?
Oh, you got anything, Mavis?
Well, no.
That's why.
And so they end up hearing from their teacher, or their principal.
The principal.
He says, listen, our school's going to lose all its funding unless we have students win the competition. I thought students just kind of compete. No, this year you got to win. We kind of really messed with the budget, so we kind of need the victory.
We haven't been... Turns out having an adventure cram school means you don't put out very high product. Because basically the school festival, the highest ranking students fight a group of B rank adventurers. I wonder what group of B rank adventurers our heroines could be up against.
Yeah, so Mile obviously doesn't want to agree, but all of her teammates are like, yeah, this is a perfect opportunity to show what we got.
And you know what? They do.
And Mile ends up finding out that the B rank adventurers they are fighting are all the servants of the noble lady.
Yeah, the one who kept the little girl harem.
Yeah, so she runs into her and she's like, how did you get out? She's like, I'm actually a very powerful noble, so they don't really arrest me. My goons got arrested, but whatever, I can get them out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And she says to her, I'm actually the one, too, that's going to close down the school, but let's make a deal. If you win, I won't close down the school. If you lose, you become my property.
Oh, and Mile reluctantly agrees.
Yeah, and then this is the amazing thing. This is how much she hates winning and standing out. When she's there with them, she's like, guys, we don't have to try that hard. It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, you just agreed to be property if you lose.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
You agreed to slavery.
That is a pretty big deal.
I'm pretty sure, like, at this time you'd be like, hey, why don't we actually try to win?
Yeah. Luckily for Mile,
she would rather like edge slavery than like even remotely stand out.
Yeah.
And
luckily for her, the rest of her party is like, fuck that, we're going all out. We gotta save the school.
Yeah, the first one to fight is Mavis, and she actually uses the techniques that Mile taught her.
She ends up beating the dude only after, like, what, 1.3 times speed?
Yeah.
And she's like, but I had more to go.
She beats him way too fast. I think she cuts his sword in half.
Yeah.
And then the next one up is Pauline, and the girl she's fighting is
I fucking love this.
Yeah, the girl she's fighting looks at her and is like, they couldn't give me someone a little better? I'm probably going to destroy you. And she's like, yeah, I'm not really that strong. Yeah, you're not that strong. Neither are your friends. They look like a bunch of losers. And she's like, hold up now. Excuse me?
Don't you say that.
She does that creepy, the smile.
With the closed eyes.
Like, oh, you said something about my friends? Now you can say anything you want about me, but you can't talk about my friends.
I just pretend you're a customer.
Yeah. And she ends up shooting a fire blast at Pauline, and it does a lot of damage. But then Pauline just goes,
Mega heal.
Mega heal, and she's fine again. And she just slowly walks closer,
she's like,
holding her staff.
I'm not gonna use any offensive magic, but I'm gonna clobber you with my staff.
Yeah, you can keep hitting me, but I can just keep healing it, and then I'm just gonna clobber you repeatedly with my staff.
What a good way to win a mage. That's like the cleric in a nutshell. You can hit me as hard as you want. I'll just keep healing myself until I get close enough to you where I can beat you to death.
And the girl immediately drops down on her butt and just like, nope, I give up. It's all good.
I'm good. I surrender.
Next is the old man.
And
Rena.
Yeah.
And Rena and him end up fighting, and she thinks to herself, man, I wonder what this guy's doing with all these criminals. That must be really sad. He must have a family or something.
He must be trying to feed his family. And she asks him, she's like, hey, you, how's your family? And
he takes it as like a threat.
He's like, what is that? She's insulting me? I need to use my most powerful magic so I don't lose so she doesn't insult me anymore.
And he's like, hellfire. And the rep's even like, hey, you can't do that. That magic will kill her.
You'll kill her.
And she's like, nah, I'm good. I've actually gotten pretty good at ice magic recently.
Yeah, she dispels it using ice magic. And then
she's like, okay, my turn. And she does the exact same spell, and he freaks out. Wait, that'll kill me.
You were just about to use it on me.
And the ref even looks at him like, are you a scumbag?
Yes. Yes, he is.
And so he surrenders, and then Miles like, all right,
I think this part is my favorite.
This is where I actually laughed, where Miles thinks to herself, all right, so it's just me. I just got to win without standing out too much. And she's standing in front of this big, tough dude in armor, and he looks down at her. He doesn't say a single word. He turns and runs.
Yeah, he starts sprinting up to her and just takes a 90-degree turn and sprints out of the arena.
And she's like, did I just win by default? That's the best, most unimpressive way to win.
I didn't have to fight at all. But then the noble comes in.
Yeah, noble lady's like, I'll fight in his place.
With a weird fucking haircut.
And Miles is probably content to just sort of winning with, much effort.
Yeah.
But then she does you have a flat chest, so you're my type thing again.
Yeah.
And that's her trigger.
Because she doesn't put it together that, hey, that was not the right thing to say. And Mile almost kills her.
Yeah, she almost completely eliminates her before shooting it up to the sky, and then fireworks everywhere. Just.
And she surrenders. She's like, I will confess to everything I've done. I surrender. I'm sorry.
And then they all get arrested.
And then at the end, they're the winners, and everyone comes up to them and is like, hey, join my party. Join my party. But then they're like, no.
We promised our roommates we were going to form a party. And then they end up doing...
They recite in unison.
Like a rehearsed thing.
A catchphrase.
And then they all pose with a bunch of explosions behind them, and they do their Sentai thing.
And they do it perfectly, and they're all like, this was awesome.
And Mile feels really bad because they're standing out super hard.
Yeah, but it's fine.
And they end up going to... they're trying to leave, and it turns out they're really popular, and Pauline is selling, like, the Nendo versions of them.
Yeah.
And people are in the audience, give me one of Mavis. I want 2 of Pauline. I want a Mile.
I want a Mile.
I want a Mile.
I want a Mile.
Give me 2 complete sets.
I'll take 7 complete Nendoroid sets.
Yeah.
This show is funny.
It's good shit. It's only gotten better, too.
It
has.
Because
the first episode was average.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Mile, it's only getting more and more above average.
I know. Mile, you're standing out on our list.
Standing out. You know what's not standing out?
Assassin's Pride?
It's not.
The next one on our list?
Yeah, Assassin's Pride. Vampire mode activated. Long white hair.
Yeah.
So there's
girl gets abducted.
Yeah, so Melita gets abducted with
Mylena, the Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah, Melita Angel.
Melita Angel.
She gets abducted with her friend, who is the paladin, by Crazy Bandage Man, and he is going to try to put the paladin girl's crest or magic powers or whatever inside her, which would potentially kill both of them.
Yes, but he's going to try it anyway, because fuck it.
And then Kufa and the other girl's teachers show
up. Kufa who?
Kufa Vampire.
Yeah,
he is also a lycanthrope. That's what the word is.
Yes.
They're not lycanthropes.
They're lycanthropes. He is half lycanthrope.
He is a He's a vampire lycanthrope.
Whose name is Kufa Vampire, who wears all black.
Yeah, and his hair turns white in vampire form.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's dumb. It's dumb
It's so dumb.
Fuck.
And then at the end of this episode, his little lady, she calls her, she says, I know I'm a little lady right now, but she basically says, when I get older, I want to, like, be together with you. And he's like, okay.
Seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The show's whatever. Even the action scene wasn't that good. Yeah,
it was very slow and...
It was floaty. Like, they were flying, but not really flying. They were just in the air.
Yeah. It wasn't particularly well directed. I thought the stuff that... when Melita was like, hey, we need some divine energy weapons to fight these fucking things. Because it turns out Paladin Girl was absolutely useless in a time of actual stress.
I actually thought them being on their own was interesting for a while, where I was like, cool, not everything has to be solved by Kufa.
Yeah.
But then he does need to show up and solve it.
It was anyway. But she does solve a minor problem by herself when she makes a divine energy torch and
because apparently Apparently, Paladin Girl is terrified of the gacha monsters.
Yeah.
The shitty gacha monsters.
Yeah.
That are even like, oh no, don't hit me with the fire.
No, please don't kill me.
They're pathetically bad.
Yeah. But then
they're gacha monsters.
They are gacha monsters. But then Kufa shows up and he fights Bandage Man and he turns into a vampire.
We're both half lycanthrope.
And he turns into a vampire and he kicks the shit out of Bandage Man, but he doesn't kill him.
Yeah, he lets him live and he goes like, tell your employer this.
Make sure you tell your boss this. And I'm assuming he does.
Yeah. And I don't need to see more of this show.
I'm
not
okay.
that good.
I'm okay.
It's got some nice background art. I'll give it that. But that's really all it's got going for it.
It's not enough to carry a show.
I don't like the two main characters. They're not that interesting.
They're boring and weird.
Yeah, they're boring and weird. And I don't like the bad guys. Nothing's going for this. Really.
Are we cutting this show? Are we cutting Assassin's Pride?
Oh, we're cutting it.
Goodbye.
Shing.
Hey, you know what show we're not going to cut?
Nothing personnel, kid.
Nothing personnel, kid. You know what show we're not going to cut because it's very good?
Salaryman.
Salaryman.
This was better than last week's. Last week's was a little like, I was worried that maybe the first episode was like a one and done.
Yeah.
But this one was actually pretty good.
This one was good.
It's got like a long running plot almost with a bunch of smaller things in between.
Yeah, I think that's for the most part how the series is probably going to go, if I had to guess.
Well, last one had like an A and B thing, like with the bath water, and then after was the going to like search for the cryptid. This
but I
one
remember the first one seemed to.
They're hanging out, or Toucan and Lizard are hanging out at a bar, and they're just, drinking, shooting the shit. And then Big Cat shows up, and Toucan's just eating a bunch of shit, and they realize he's eating bird at one point. Like, he's eating chicken.
Isn't that cannibalism? Nah, we're used to that. It's fine.
And the issue is that Lizard doesn't know any cool tricks.
He doesn't have cool tricks to impress and hilariate his clients.
Yeah, because salarymen have to do a lot of shit.
They gotta jump through a lot of hoops, and it seems awful.
Yeah, so it's like, I gotta go out to dinner with a client, and I had nothing to, like, show him.
I didn't even have any good jokes.
So they decide, hey, there's gonna be a cherry blossom viewing event in the park. Why don't we have the company go out to that?
And we'll steal other people's tricks.
So they do that, and then they have Toucan wait overnight because the place fills up, so you need to like reserve your spot early.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there the day before, and he's like, why am I doing this? This is for interns. This is for newbies. Why am I here?
I mean, if you think about it, it's ideal for Toucan because it's not work. It's doing nothing.
Yeah, but it seemed like a really boring doing nothing where he'd rather be playing video games or something.
Hey man, he should bring it's not his fault. It's not our fault.
Yeah, he should have brought his Switch.
Yeah,
he brings it to work, but he won't bring it to the park.
Maybe he left it in the office.
And he ends up drinking a bunch of beer, falling asleep, and then he wakes up at night when it's creepy.
Yeah.
And then he sees the knife hamster.
Yeah, and he gives the knife hamster treats because fuck it, why not?
I don't know. I feel like I would give the knife hamster treats because...
Yeah.
Would you want to piss off the knife hamster?
That's true. I would not want to piss off Lethal Hamster, as they call it.
Lethal Hamster. I forgot. Yeah, that's his name.
Its name is Lethal Hamster.
And he's like, wait, are you going to show me something? And there's a dead toucan in a suit?
Yeah, and it looks very much like him.
And he's like, wait a second. He's like, should I... Also, there's a sign that says, careful, dead bodies may be about.
Yeah. As there are.
Yeah. And so he decides, wait a second, I can use this guy to be a placeholder while I go clubbing.
And he does just that.
So he uses the dead dude, just puts him there, and then he goes out.
And he goes and we learn Toucan's method, his methodology.
And while he's sitting in the park, he's super bored that they have the they have a JoJo reference where the cars stop thinking, but instead Toucan stopped thinking. And the narrator is Dio.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And he goes to the club, and we hear from the narrators, just mind you, these are Toucan's ideas on how to pick up women. They are not actually true.
Yes, they are only in his mind. And literally anytime Toucan has any kind of internal, like, all right, step 2, now we pretend to spill something. We have to annoy her, but not in a way that's actually too inconvenient. Again, this is only Toucan's idea.
And then by the end, he was like, it can't be overstated enough. None of this is anything but Toucan's fantasies.
But basically, he hits on a girl, he seeks her out, hits on her.
And things are going really well for him at first.
Yeah.
But then he starts going on about lying about how he's a lawyer.
And she loses interest instantly.
She's like, wow, you're the type of guy that just only, like, flaunts his money?
You must really think I'm stupid. And he gets so, like,
She's like, you even probably spilled your drink on me on purpose. It's a classic technique.
He gets so mind-flooded that he just...
He needs to go to another club after just to, like, get rid of the feelings from the first club.
Man, it was really tiring going to that second club just to wash off the feelings from the first club's disasters.
And he ends up going back the next day, and everyone showed up, but they're all like, hey, Toucan, come on, wake up, it's time to party.
He's dead.
And they're all just distraught.
They hold a wake for him in the park, and there's a news reporter there who's like
everyone's
wow.
here celebrating. It's a really good time. These people look like they're having a wake over here, and they go over.
Hey,
like,
what's going on?
Our coworker died.
Oh my god, I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
It really was a wake.
But then Toucan shows up, and he listens in to people talking about him.
And nothing's positive. It's like, Toucan, I don't have really any memories of you, but you were a good kid. Or, Toucan, I can't believe he's gone. I'm not going to get my $20 back.
How am I going to get my $20 back from Toucan? That's what you're worried about? But eventually, Lizard comes...
to a weird conclusion that, hey, Toucan committed cannibalism. He would probably want to be eaten after he was gone. We need to feed him to another bird.
He's trying to teach me the trick that he wanted to teach me. Frying him up and feeding him to another bird.
And then they see actual Toucan. And they're like, hey, mister, listen, guys, this man is going to eat Toucan for us. And they're like, yay!
Yeah, and he runs away, because fuck that.
And he's like, what's with this old-fashioned ending?
Oh no, because it is kind of like an old-fashioned cartoon ending as they chase him off into the sunset, and its circle zooms in on Toucan.
What a scumbag.
What a dick.
Yeah, Toucan's the worst.
Toucan is, but I love him.
He's the best and the worst.
He's the best of the worst. You know, it's also... No, that's not true. After School Saikoro Club.
Yeah, it's... We were talking about this earlier this week, and we were like, you know what? This show's kind of boring.
Yeah, it is.
It's not, like, comfy and fun. It's just...
They introduce another character every week with a different plot line that they resolve.
Through games.
And
I realized something about this show. It would be better as a short.
Yeah, literally just do the games.
Yeah, just do the game part, and I think that would just be fine on all its own.
Yeah.
Because that's the only fun I have is learning about the game. Because I really didn't care about this girl's plot with, like, I need you to come back because the student council is planning the school festival because my senpai, he trusts me.
It needs to be totally unique, and oh my god.
This week and last week showed me something. Like, the plot to get to the game is always going to be super melodramatic.
Yeah.
Like, I was bullied and stuff. Like, I don't... It's not even done well.
It's not good. It's not entertaining.
It's not bopping.
Yeah. I even had trouble paying attention to the game part this week. Just because, like, it's fine.
And I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah.
The game was fine, but I didn't care about this girl, her plot line, or, like, we learned one of them, the Glasses girl wants to be a game author. And I thought that at least the history behind that was interesting.
Yeah. Basically, her older brother took her to the game shop that she works at now as a kid, and they would go and they would play games with the manager, and everyone would have a good time.
And I guess, like, the way they do it in Germany, if you invent the game, you put your name on it like the author, like of a book.
Oh, yeah. I saw another game I recognized this week. They had Blockus, which is a game I actually own, and it's kind of fun.
We should play Blockus sometime.
We should. Let's bring it to the Halloween party. I'm sure everyone would love to play it.
Everyone at parties, you know everyone loves to stop things from happening and is sitting down at a table with each other.
I mean,
that's what parties are all about. That's why everyone loves the Cards Against Humanity guy. Whoever brings that,
yeah,
everyone's like, oh yeah, clear the table. We're playing Cards Against Humanity.
I would rather play Blockus than Cards Against Humanity. I can have fun playing Blockus.
Cards Against Humanity was one of those like one and done things where, okay, I've seen all the combinations.
Yeah,
it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, but instead they're gonna play Wheels on the Bus. When's that episode of Haikoro? The after school club.
They're playing.
They're playing drinking games. Fucking Wheels on the Bus.
Or they're just playing Cards Against Humanity, and they have to accidentally play all the racist ones.
Accidentally?
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no. Who would possibly play this card? It's not a great show.
No. So goodbye.
We're gonna cut this one too. Double kill this week. Boom.
Double kill. Slayer. Multi-kill.
First blood.
Yeah, first blood.
First kills this season is a double kill.
Yeah. No guns, life.
Something we're not gonna kill because holy shit, this is good.
This show is real good. No guns, life. A show about a man with a gun for a fucking head.
So they're hanging out at Mary's. Tetsuo woke up, but he
can't speak.
Yeah, and he's not really in full control of his limbs either.
Basically, he has new extensions for his arms and legs because his original ones were all fucked up. And Mary offers to feed him.
And then some crime boss shows up.
I actually really like the crime boss.
Yeah.
Him and his I don't know if it was literally his little brother, but the weirdo he comes with.
No, they're basically Yakuza.
Yeah.
They're like modeled after the Yakuza. And in the Yakuza, everyone who's like above you is because you're considered the Yakuza. You're a family. You're a crime family. So
okay.
Your superior is usually, instead of being your senpai, he's your Ainiki, your big brother.
Okay.
So yeah, he's just his superior in the gang.
Well, his inferior is a jumped up little punk.
Yeah.
He was about to get his shit rocked by Juzo.
Yeah, so they have a conversation about how apparently a bunch of kids with, robotic parts are being attacked by an extended.
Yeah.
And they're getting all their parts stolen. They're not getting killed. They're just basically getting torn apart.
And they're being found in deep sleep, and none of them have woken up yet.
Yeah, some sort of poison. And then
some kind of poison.
And he asked Juzo to solve it, but Juzo is like, I think people should wipe their own asses.
Yeah, I really like that line. I really like Juzo a lot.
And he basically essentially says he's not going to help because it's out of his jurisdiction. It's not his business.
Yeah, you guys are perfectly fine to solve your own problems.
Yeah, you're a big crime family. You can handle this. Because Juzo mentions after that he knows this is just the Barugan trying to draw him out.
Yeah.
Or draw Tetsuo out, at least.
Yeah.
Which they actually do.
It works.
Yeah. Because he ends up, the guy gets pissed off, the crime boss, so he gets up and they both, slam their heads against each other.
He tries to stare him down.
And he's staring down Juzo, and Juzo just takes a sip of his coffee out of his little teacup.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, ha, I like guys like you. You can't stare a guy down if you don't know where his eyes are.
Yeah. Imagine trying to stare down someone by staring down the barrel of a gun.
And he says, I like you, but this is our town, so remember, don't get in our way.
Yeah, don't fuck around with us. I don't want to have to come back here.
Yeah, because he mentions most of his boys have been treated by Mary.
Most of my boys. Out there with the boys. But basically, Juzo starts talking about, they're trying to bring out Tetsuo, so I'm not going to fall into their trap. And then Tetsuo is like, holy shit, we should actually do something if they're coming after me.
And he's like, no, kid. And he's like,
that's a dumb idea.
And so Tetsuo decides, I'm going to do it anyway. And he uses his harmony thing to take over Juzo.
That's not going to go over well.
Yeah, so he ends up leaving, and he doesn't really have good control over Juzo's body. Also, he stands out way too much.
Yeah.
Because he tries to ask for information over, a parts seller. And the guy's like, yeah, I'll tell you. But also, I kind of want to take you apart right now and kind of sell some of your stuff. You look like you got a lot of rare pieces on you. So.
Yeah, some of that stuff is even hard to get on the black market.
So he has to run away and basically hide his face, and he has a basket behind him that he keeps Tetsuo, his actual body in.
Yeah, so he's walking around with a basket and a bag on his head.
And then he notices some girls running away from a weird clown with 2 swords.
That turn into scissors.
Yeah.
And he's like, holy shit, that's a bad guy. I gotta stop him.
And he goes and punches that guy, but then he finds out quickly, wait a second, that guy worked with the mafia, or the Yakuza in town. And you hear the girls talking, and they're saying, remember, we can't leave any witnesses.
We need to kill him, too.
He's like, wait, I'm here to help you. I'm from the facility. And they're like, yeah, right, old man.
Yeah, of course. Because we want to go back to the facility. And then there's a, what is she, a redhead? There's a redhead and the blonde one?
One's blonde, one has brown hair.
Brown, that's right.
And the blonde turns into a freaky spider thing.
Yeah, it's real weird. But you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I like weird cybernetics.
Me too.
And he gets shot with like some sort of poison dart, which he realizes why all the people went to sleep. And he kind of collapses over. And the 2 girls end up going back to what's the company again?
Barugan.
The Barugan guys. And they decide, all right, we're going to scrap you since you're both totally useless. Because the brown-haired one tries to protect the blonde one because the blonde one's constantly on the cusp of going frenzied.
Yeah, so she needs facility care.
And they're like, why would we bother treating her? She's clearly useless, so we're just going to scrap her.
Yeah, so sorry.
But then Tetsuo as Juzo shows up again, and he punches the dudes out, and he goes to save them. And they're like, why does this dude keep showing up?
Stop saving us. What are you doing?
And I think it ends right there.
It does.
Yeah, so next week we have more of him doing that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I thought this was a cool episode.
It's a very good show, and Juzo is a great noir protagonist, mostly because A, he's tough as nails, but B, it's a lot of little lines. Like, after the Yakuza guy leaves, he walks over to his coffee again, and he's like, this is undrinkable cold. And he puts it back, and he drops it because Tetsuo starts talking to him, or uses harmony on him. But it's a little shit like that that's just, oh, so good. I love it. I love it. So good. It's good writing.
And I like Tetsuo now that we got to see more of him. He basically wants to go and save more people, but
he wants to be a good guy.
He's naive.
He is naive, being a child. And Mary just wants to keep her shit from getting blown up.
Yeah, I feel like Tetsuo's obviously going to end up being his partner that actually pulls the trigger on his gun.
Probably.
Yeah. But it's just good.
Yeah, I'm actively looking forward to watching it next week so I can figure out what happens.
And I'm so glad it's 24 episodes.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 core.
It's a good show. But we need to mosey on to the end of this good show.
Yeah.
Or podcast, whatever you want to call it.
Very eventful week. We cut 2 shows, so hopefully we don't have to rush ourselves anymore.
Yeah, we can slow down and go on more 15-minute tangents about other things.
Because Dr. Stone's right at the beginning, and there's a lot to say about it.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video or this episode, if you're not listening on YouTube, then you can do all kinds of cool shit to follow us.
Yeah, for YouTube specifically, do 2 things, like and subscribe.
Yeah, doesn't hurt. Make sure that the notification bell is clicked so you get those notifications whenever we upload. We upload all kinds of cool stuff like this podcast and our after class specials on
all
My
about
Hero.
My Hero, yep.
Where we talk about this podcast.
Yeah, we talk about this podcast, and then sometimes we talk about My Hero Academia like we're supposed to.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Also, our friend Tyler is on it.
Yep, tea time for 2, so you get to hear 3 of us.
Yeah, a new voice.
And we are also on Libsyn.
Yes, we are hosted through Libsyn, Liberated Syndication.
So if you want to get us on iTunes, we're there.
You want us on Spotify? We're there too.
What about the Google Play Store or whatever?
Whatever the fuck, Google Music. I think it's music.
Do people use that?
I don't know, but if you do, you can find us on there too. Also, there's SoundCloud as well.
We got the one guy listening on Google, and he's just like, I use it.
I use it. Well, you know what? You're special. You're special then. I'm sure my analytics will tell me that one guy is there, and I'll give him a shout out. We're also on stuff like Deezer and SoundCloud and shit like that.
And we also post on social media.
Yeah, we got a Facebook and a Twitter at Protagonist C.
Yeah, you get updates there too. You can get updates in so many places.
Really, if you aren't getting updates from somewhere from us, that's on you, man. There's so many places.
We're going to send out mail.
We're going to mail you episode transcripts.
Now, we're not going to mail transcripts. You're just going to send out a flyer like, hey, there's another episode.
Just a cheap little flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Join us next time, because there's so... Come on. No guns life.
No guns life. There's more no guns life. There's more Dr. Stone. There's more Africa's Salaryman.
Didn't I say make my abilities average in the next life? Oh.
More of it.
Yeah. That's turned out to be one of the really good ones.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you again.
See you next time.